This is Steve Ridgel, and I preach a lot of places. I teach regularly and preach some at our local church in Abilene, Hillcrest Church of Christ, but I also still get invited to a number of places to preach or speak. And one of the things that I sometimes get asked to come talk about are, well, I don't know another way to say it, old people, old Christians, how you live as a Christian as you get older. Even at our local church Sunday, I'm doing the welcome at church because it's Grandparents' Day, apparently. And so they wanted, and I thought, we've got a lot of grandparents. My grands are about grown, but still, I get asked to do that kind of thing, maybe because I'm old. But one of the things that's the centerpiece of almost everywhere I go talk is the story of Caleb. It's such a great story. And many of you are familiar with Caleb's story. He was one of the faithful spies. 12 of God's leaders went into the land to see what God was going to give them. And they came back they did say, hey, God, this is a great land. Boy, this is fantastic. But 10 of the leaders said, man, we can't take it. They basically said, God, you can't do what you told us you'd do. But Caleb and Joshua said, yes, you can. And Moses and Aaron argued with the people not to listen to the 10. Now, there's a lot of lessons in that, by the way, about leadership. Sometimes when you're in the minority, you're not wrong. The key is to be on God's side, not whatever's popular with the people. But that's not the best part of the story of Caleb. Because he was faithful, when God said to the people, okay, you don't think I can give you the land? Fine. You're an unfaithful generation. Go out and wander in the wilderness till all of you guys are dead. And then your survivors will bring them back. And maybe they will listen and take the land. But he let Caleb and Joshua live. Joshua, of course, eventually led them in. And Caleb comes in, and then he says, I'm now 85, but I'm strong, I'm vigorous. God promised me a place here, so give me this mountain where the giants live. Wow. And with God's help, I will drive them out. And now, the neat part about that is that he did that. But at the very end of the story, it talks about a city there that Caleb took. And when it talks about it, it says it used to be called, and it was named after the most mighty man among the people that inhabited that land. We named a town after the strongest man, and then Scripture says it used to be called. You understand what happened? Caleb wiped out the city of the strongest man there. I just think when God does things, he doesn't do them halfway. Boy, God just does what he says. I love that. And the other thing I think about Caleb a lot is how faithful he was. Yeah, he was one of the two that, no, not that. Well, yeah, he came back as an old man. Well, yeah, that's a great lesson. Don't ever quit. Still do great things for God. God has great things y'all can do together. No, the thing I think is the most impressive thing about Caleb's faith, 45 years. He wandered in the wilderness. 40 years, and he was 45, so 85. He wandered in the wilderness. I wonder what he thought all that time. God, I'm going to be patient till all my contemporaries die off because they weren't faithful. All his friends, all the people his age, and Caleb keeps wandering in the wilderness with God's people. Staying faithful, staying focused till they got back to the promised land. And God gave his people a second chance to take it, and there was Caleb. All those years of being patient and waiting on the Lord. There's a lot to learn from the life of Caleb. I want to be old like Caleb was old. Vigorous for the Lord, doing things, being faithful. This is Steve Ridgel saying, be like Caleb.